All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into pitching.
Okay.
The high-stakes world of pitching and deal-making.
Right.
We're extracting wisdom from Oren Klaff's book, Pitch Anything, which is a guide to presenting, persuading, and winning deals.
That's good.
So why do some pitches succeed spectacularly while others just crash and burn?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, and Klaff says the answer lies in this surprising psychological factor that we might not even realize
Really?
we're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what is this factor? What's he talking about?
Well, he calls it neediness.
Neediness.
Yeah, and he argues that it can completely sabotage a pitch.
Interesting.
Yeah, so to kind of understand this, Klaff himself started out as a struggling entrepreneur,
Okay.
like down to his last $1,000,
What?
trying to secure funding for his tech company.
Oh, so he was really
Yeah,
bootstrapping it.
he was really in it.
Yeah.
And he was pitching constantly,
Yep.
to all these investors. And instead of like getting them excited,
Right.
he was just met with skepticism and rejection.
Oof. I can imagine that's tough.
Oh, it was rough.
Yeah.
One venture capitalist told him straight up,
Oh, no.
I have no idea why anyone would want to build this,
Wow.
use it, or invest in it.
Ouch.
Yeah, brutal.
And another investor was like,
Mm-hmm.
try a different idea.
Oh, come on.
Right. That's
But like, can you imagine getting that feedback
Yeah.
when you're already feeling the pressure?
that way.
So these rejections, they were brutal,
Yeah.
but they forced Klaff to kind of take a hard look at what he was doing wrong.
At himself.
Yeah, he was a skilled pitcher.
Right.
So why were investors biting?
Yeah, like what was going on?
And that's where he had his light bulb moment.
Okay.
He realized that he was coming across as too eager,
Okay.
too desperate for validation, and he was just oozing neediness.
It was like, please like me. Please invest in my idea.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting.
Right.
Klaff discovered that even just a hint of neediness can trigger this like primal
Oh.
fear response in the listener.
Took a fight or flight.
Yeah, like fight or flight.
Wow.
Like, our brains are wired to avoid threats.
Right?
And on a subconscious level, neediness is often perceived as a threat.
A threat, how so?
Well, it signals potential weakness,
Oh, okay.
instability,
I see.
maybe even manipulation.
Interesting.
So it's like our crocodile brain,
Your crocodile.
that
bit.
primitive part of our brain
Yeah.
that's focused on survival,
Right.
sees neediness and it's like, danger, abort mission.
Oh, wow. So it's like shutting down.
It's totally shutting down.
Like, I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Our crocodile brain wants to protect us from anything
Like
that
that.
could jeopardize our resources
Percent.
or status, And neediness can make people feel like they're about to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So their instinct is just to disengage.
Interesting.
So even subtle hints of neediness,
Right.
it can totally backfire.
Wow.
Klaff uses this example of a pitch where he was so anxious to close the deal,
Okay.
he actually blurted out,
He said what?
"Do you still think it's a good deal?"
Oh, no.
Talk about a pitch killer.
Oof. I can only imagine being in that room.
Right.
Yeah.
Asking for reassurance like that
Yeah.
just screams, I'm not confident in what I'm selling.
Totally. Like, please validate me.
Exactly.
Please tell me this is a good idea.
It's almost painful to think about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But luckily for us, Klaff didn't just wallow in his pitching failures.
Okay, good.
He actually used these experiences to develop
Yeah.
a counterintuitive solution
Okay.
to the problem of neediness.
So what was it? What did he come up with?
And that solution, believe it or not, was inspired by the Tao of Steve,
A philosophy.
a philosophy from a movie.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, a movie of the same name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tao Steve, break that down for me.
Yeah.
What is this Tao?
So in the movie, the main character, Dex,
Okay.
he uses this philosophy to navigate social situations and become surprisingly successful with women.
All right, so this average guy figures out
Yeah.
how to attract women way out of his league.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to this Tao of Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
So the Tao of Steve,
Okay.
it boils down to 3 core principles.
All right, lay them on me.
1, nothing.
Okay.
Focus on what you do well
Oh,
and announce your intention to leave.
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
The last one?
Yeah.
Announce your intention to leave?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that to win someone over,
Uh-huh.
you should act like you're about to walk out the door.
Yeah.
How does that even work? I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but think about it this way.
Okay.
When you're too eager,
Mm-hmm.
too available,
Right.
it actually lowers your perceived value.
Oh, okay. So it's like playing hard to get.
Exactly.
You create a sense of scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly you're in demand.
Yeah, you become the prize.
The prize.
And that's when a prize frame comes in.
Okay.
It's that mental shift
Mm-hmm.
where the person being pitched
Right.
starts to see you as a valuable opportunity,
Interesting.
not just another person vying for their attention.
Oh, so by subtly withdrawing, by not being so invested in the outcome,
Yeah.
you make yourself more attractive.
More desirable.
Yeah.
Precisely.
What?
It triggers a sense of curiosity and even a little bit of fear of missing out.
Oh,
So suddenly they're the ones chasing after you,
interesting.
trying to prove themselves worthy.
Yeah. Oh, this is blowing my mind.
I know, right?
It flips the traditional pitching script.
Yeah, completely.
But how do you actually pull this off?
Well,
Like wanting nothing sounds a little
Yeah.
like a Zen koan to me.
it's a bit abstract.
Yeah.
But Klaff provides some concrete examples
Okay.
of what this looks like in action.
Right.
And he actually points to 3 iconic figures,
Mm-hmm.
all named Steve,
Okay.
who embodies the Tao of Steve principles.
Okay. The Steves of coolness.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking Steve McQueen,
Yeah.
Steve Austin,
Yeah.
and Steve McGarrett,
The Steves, the $6 million man.
and the tough detective
Yeah.
from Hawaii Five-0.
You got it.
So each of these Steves exuded confidence,
Mm-hmm.
capability,
Totally.
without ever seeming to try too hard. They
Yeah.
had that effortless charisma.
Effortless.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all had this knack for walking away
Mm-hmm.
at just the right moment,
Right.
leaving people wanting more.
Exactly.
I can definitely see how that ties in.
Yeah.
They wanted nothing because they already had it.
Mhm.
Like that inner confidence,
Yeah.
that self-assurance.
And by not needing anything from anyone,
Yeah.
they became irresistible.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go back to Klaff's story.
All right.
Remember that high-pressure final pitch
Oh, yeah.
where his company's future was on the line?
Yeah, the one where he was down to his last shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He walked into that room full of seasoned investors
Mhm.
who had already heard countless pitches that day.
Right. They were probably tired.
Oh, they were tired.
Skeptical.
And not exactly welcoming.
I can only imagine the pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
But this time, armed with the Tao of Steve,
Mm-hmm.
he took a completely different approach.
Okay, what did he do?
Instead of trying to please the investors,
Right.
he focused on qualifying them.
Oh, interesting.
He turned the tables.
He was like, hey, you need to impress me.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of this
Exactly.
bold move.
Right.
Yeah.
And he started asking them questions,
Mm-hmm.
challenging them to prove.
that they were the right fit.
So he wasn't begging for their investment.
No.
He was making them feel like they needed to be a part of it.
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
Right. And he even used that
Uh,
announce your intention to leave principle
okay.
to create that sense of urgency.
How so?
He told them, this deal will be fully subscribed
Mhm.
in the next 14 days.
Oh, wow.
Implying that if they didn't act fast,
Right.
they'd miss out.
So it's like he flipped a switch
Yeah.
in their brains,
Really.
shifted them from a position of power
Mm-hmm.
to one of almost desperation.
It's amazing, right? Yeah.
It is.
So what was the outcome?
Well, the investors who were initially dismissive
Yeah.
were suddenly intrigued.
Okay.
They started seeing Klaff and his company as this valuable prize,
Right.
something they needed to win over.
And the outcome.
Klaff secured a $14 million valuation
Wow.
for his company
Get out of here.
and a $2.1 million investment
Oh, my goodness.
from those once skeptical investors.
What a comeback story.
Talk about a turnaround.
Right.
Yeah.
So just by applying these
Yeah.
simple yet powerful principles, he completely transformed the pitch
Totally.
and achieved a phenomenal outcome.
It really is a testament to the power of
Yeah.
understanding the psychology of Asia.
Of persuasion.
And what's fascinating is that this isn't just about pitching businesses.
Right.
You mean this Tao of Steve stuff
Uh-huh.
can work in other areas of life.
Absolutely.
Okay, I need to hear more about this. How would you apply this in, say, a salary negotiation? Would you just casually mention that you have other offers?
Well, you wouldn't necessarily like announce it outright,
Right.
but you could subtly hint that you're in demand.
Okay.
Maybe mention that you've been,
Mm-hmm.
exploring other opportunities, or
Right.
that your skills are highly sought after
I see.
in the current market.
Okay.
It's about projecting confidence.
and value
Right.
without being, arrogant or pushy.
Right.
Remember the Tao of Steve?
Yeah.
It's about attracting,
Huh.
not chasing.
This is so
I
eye-opening.
know, it's powerful stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about how I can apply these principles in my own life.
Me too.
It's amazing how a little bit of psychology can give you
I know it.
such an edge,
Totally.
in any kind of negotiation or persuasion scenario.
It really does.
So what does this all mean for our listener?
What?
Whether they're pitching a business idea,
Right.
negotiating a raise,
Uh-huh.
or even trying to convince their partner
Mm-hmm.
to try that new sushi place.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Clef's insights offer these valuable lessons
Totally.
in persuasion and influence.
It's about recognizing that, that subtle neediness,
Right.
that desperation for validation,
Mm-hmm.
it can sabotage
Yeah.
even the most brilliant ideas
Right.
or proposals.
It's about mastering the art of subtle withdrawal.
Right.
Of creating that sense of scarcity.
Yeah.
That makes people wanna
Lean in.
lean in.
And ultimately,
Yeah.
it's about presenting yourself as a prize.
Right.
Not a beggar.
Not a beggar, well said.
It's about believing in your own value
Mm-hmm.
and letting that confidence shine through
Yeah.
in your interactions.
Now here's a final thought.
Okay.
To chew on.
Right.
Clef focuses on the outward signs of neediness.
Right.
But what about the internal roots?
Oh, that's a good question.
Where does that desperation for validation come from in the first place?
Yeah, like what are the deeper
Or,
psychological factors at play?
Right. Maybe it stems from a lack of self-worth,
Right. Could be.
fear of rejection,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a deep-seated need to
Yeah.
please others.
So maybe the real key
Yeah.
to mastering the Tao of Steve
Mm-hmm.
lies not just in changing our behavior,
Right.
but in addressing those underlying insecurities and
Right.
building a stronger sense of self.
That's something to think about.
It is.
It is.
So as you navigate the complex world
Mm-hmm.
of human interactions,
Yeah.
remember the wisdom of Oren Klaff
Uh-huh.
and the Tao of Steve.
Yeah.
Want nothing.
Right.
Focus on what you do well,
Mm-hmm.
and don't be afraid to walk away.
Until next time, fellow deep divers,
Yes.
keep exploring,
Keep questioning.
keep questioning,
and keep pushing.
keep pushing those boundaries of
That's
your
it.
own potential.